What's going on, guys? Joe R, Vintage Pokemon, and today we got something really special. I recently had some vintage Pokemon cards that had some really cool vintage material, and I wanted to display it somehow. I wanted to be able to show it off, but not like a PSA card, but rather framed up with its original materials. And I think this turned out really, really cool. So I want to show you guys how I went about doing this and what it is that we exactly framed, and also how we're going to add to it. So stick around and don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more really awesome vintage Pokemon card content. So this is my attempt, guys, at trying to be a little bit creative, thinking outside the box a little bit, you could say. Normally you'd take your cards, send them off to PSA to get graded. Maybe you like to take your sealed vintage product and put it in an acrylic case of some kind. But I thought this needed a way to be displayed that didn't involve completely removing everything from the picture that it came with. These are cards that came in Nintendo Power magazines between the year 1999 and 2000. So they're all vintage Wizards of the Coast and really, really cool. I think even more cool when you include those original flyers that came with the cards, because these flyers, they actually give a little information about the card itself, as well as in some cases a little bit about its release, which I think is really awesome. And this would appeal not just to this display, would appeal not just to Pokemon card collectors, but Nintendo collectors as well, because these are all from Nintendo Power magazine. So you can see I've got 3 cards that are in this frame currently. We've got E3 Yellow Cheeks Pikachu, which it actually tells us a little bit about its original release. It says this exclusive E3 Pikachu card for the Pokemon trading card game was given out only to attendees of the E3 conference in Los Angeles last May. And so this was another release of this card. It came in the Nintendo Power magazine. And we've also got the Dark Persian card. And we also have Black Star promo number 12, Mewtwo, a beautiful card, and also the only Pokemon card done by the artist Christopher Rush, which is really awesome. The guy that did the Black Lotus card in Magic the Gathering. So really, really neat trio of cards here. But what I want to show you guys today is how I actually made this display, as well as one more that we're going to add, because there's actually 4 instances where Nintendo Power released flyers with attached cards, and I didn't realize that I was missing one. So I got the last one that I was missing. This is Sabrina's Abra, another Black Star promo from Gym Challenge, and we're going to throw that in there. And I'm going to show you how we're going to go about doing that. For anybody that's wondering if there's any more, there was a Black Star promo Venusaur that was also released in a Nintendo Power magazine, but it wasn't like this with a flyer with card information attached. So for that reason, I'm not including it in here. But these are the 4 that came with flyers and their attached cards. And I wanted to show it off and go over how exactly I made this really cool display piece for you guys all. All right, so let's take a look and see how we can go about making this. All right, so the frame itself, I actually picked up at, I believe it was Michael's for, I think it was on sale like $10 or something. So not a big deal at all. On the back side, it's a really cheap frame. I'm just going to pull these out, and we're going to very carefully kind of just lay these out for ourselves. The cards that you see here that are in the background, I just used the paper insert that came with the original frame. I laid these cards over that insert that came with the frame, and I just kind of took a tiny bit of hot glue and I glued them down to create the nice Pokemon card background that you see here. I did have to test out before gluing what the appropriate number of cards to lay out going across and down was going to actually be, so that I didn't end up with a ton of extra space on either the top, sides, or bottom. And I wanted to make this relatively uniform across the bottom and top, even though the actual flyers are sitting on top of it here. So let's get this open. And once we do, we'll show you what it looks like a little bit more cleanly. Okay, so here's the backing that we used for our display, our actual framing. And you can see I just put columns and rows of old Pokemon cards. I did have to find some that had some relatively nice condition, so we didn't have a ton of whitening showing through, and I think it came out really nice. These were literally just some old cards like Energies or trainer cards that really are probably not going to have any real immense growth over time, so it's not like I was wasting cards or anything like that. And I just hot glued them down. So they're not going anywhere. And this was just the original insert that the frame came with. So I had a nice piece of backing that I could work with from the very beginning that came with the frame. And again, the frame cost like $10. So definitely a cheap way. You're going to spend that much money just to grade one card if you're sending in a bulk submission. So pretty good deal. Here you can see one of our cards. And what I actually did with each of these flyers, and I'm actually going to take... there we go. This is the Dark Persian one. What we actually did was we took the card, we took it off the flyer, and we put it in a sleeve, and then we put that back on. That way the card had a little extra protection, even while it was framed, because I wanted to make sure this lasts a good long while, and I don't want the glass being up against the card. Remember, originally when these were in the magazine, there was no protection on these cards. They were literally just pinned within the folds of the magazine, which was pretty good, but I think, putting a sleeve on here does it one step better. And we're going for the flyer and the card together, kind of being presented in as good a condition as humanly possible. On the back side, I want to preserve the flyer best I can. I just have a couple little points of sticky tack, and that's it. The pressure of the backing and the sticky tack alone is going to hold it in place, no problemo. And the same is said for the card here. I just took the original tack that was on this card and I put it in place. And now what we're going to do is we're going to fit all of these back onto our backing with the addition of the Sabrina's Abra, and hopefully when we're done, this thing will look fantastic. So I'll be back with you guys in just a second. And there you have it, our finished product with all the Nintendo Power Magazine flyers and their respected cards, looking awesome and displayed and fantastic in this one nice piece of artwork that we've got here. Took me a little bit of time to get properly centered and everything into a good position, but I mean, it looks fantastic. And you can see our Sabrina's Abra there, Mewtwo, Dark Persian, Pikachu, and I think this is just an awesome way to display some vintage Pokemon cards outside of the norm. And what a great story these Nintendo Power Flyers actually tell. And I'm really happy to share this with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this vintage Pokemon card content with me today, because I know I enjoyed sharing it with you. We'll see you guys all next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, by the way. Thanks again.